Hello, Internet family. This is Anjanette Potter, also known as Adam's Rib, and you are listening to Monday Evening Quarterback. So, I this one, this is more of an update. I'm not going to be on here. Well, I don't know how long I'm going to be on here. Let me just say that. So a few things are happening. I think in Mississippi, they have changed their laws as far as their Supreme Court, their Superior Court people, and so their Superior Court judges. Let me see here. And of course, I can't find my backup phone to look that information up. But let me say this. So it looks like they're, and the people, especially black people, are very upset. And they believe that it's bringing back Jim Crow. Um, from what I see, I can understand their concern because according to their court system, they pretty much like have a say in how their justices are picked. And now the way they're doing it, they won't be voting on them being justices anymore. The justices will be appointed, pretty much like our Supreme Court justices are now. And I think that the place where they're doing this is predominantly white. So I can so I understand why the people are so concerned. I'd be concerned too if I was used to having a say in. Uh, if I was used to having a say in how I'm trying to find my backup phone and I can't find it. If I were used to having a say in, appointing government officials, and now all of that power was going to someone else, I'd be upset. So it's interesting to see how this is going to go. Of course, the black Republicans are basically telling the people to pipe down and quit being so dramatic and this and the other. And I'm like, well, if you were used to having a say in how something is done, and now it's going to be up to people who you really don't know and really don't trust to appoint these positions, I can see how people would be upset. As to whether or not it's bringing back Jim Crow, that's kind of a horse of another. Um, that's kind of a horse of another color. It could very well be. It could very well be because, as I said before, there are certain things to me that are kind of concerning because they kind of symbolize the rolling back of the clock. And, like I said before, if you have any rights that come if you have any rights that are the result of anybody who I think I finally found it. So I contacted my daughter to find out if my grandson was asleep, and he is. Bless his little heart. So today I went and picked him up to take him to school like I do every day, having a car and everything. And so I, tickled his little belly, and he's 4 now. So he looks and he says, "Okay, Grandma, that's enough. That's enough tickling." so he's so he's getting to be at that stage where he's starting to have conversations. He's, whether or not you think he's behind, it's funny because some of my younger cousins used to be like that. They wouldn't be doing things as soon as other kids would be doing them, but once they started doing them, you would never know that they were not doing them as quick as other kids, because once they caught on, he's a lot like his mom. Once he makes up his mind to do something, he does it. And so I, tell my daughter all the time, like I tell any young mother, um, don't compare your kids to other kids. Don't compare your children to other children. Every kid grows according to their own rate. Pay attention to your pediatrician. Get a good pediatrician, let me say that much. But always pay attention, check things out with your pediatrician and make sure that they're on schedule or on task. If you, because I remember for the longest time, my daughter seemed like the tiniest child in the world. And so I would ask him, I'm like, is she underweight? Because, I was very concerned because she was so petite. And they were like, no, she's actually, and they explained everything. And they also explained that because I was like, I keep her fed. She has a healthy appetite. And so they were like, everything is proportional. She's just a petite child. And so keep up with that kind of stuff, and they'll alert you um, if you don't. And if you see something wrong and you don't feel like your pediatrician is taking it seriously, there's nothing wrong with getting a backup and getting a second opinion. But don't let people make you feel some kind of way over how quickly your child is doing things. Because, especially when you're talking about from birth to like 4 or 5, but especially between, from birth to 4, those are some really tricky years. And you could be worried about what they're not doing, and next week they'll do it. That's just how that age is. And so it's, I tell people all the time, motherhood for me, my oldest is 34 and my youngest is 28 now. And I tell people all the time, for me, motherhood was fun. And my daughter posted something on Facebook one time, and she said, I hardly feel mature enough to be somebody's mom. And she wasn't saying it because it was overwhelming. Her and my grandson have fun together. And I told her when, I was watching one of her friends' kids and we were having fun. And I told her, I said, go back and be this size again. And she was laughing. I said, when you and your brother were little, you were fun to raise. You were really fun to raise. I mean, with my kids, I enjoyed motherhood. And, you have people who get online and, oh, motherhood sucks. Don't let anybody talk you into having kids. No one's trying to talk you into having kids. If you don't want to have kids, don't have them. If you don't want to have children, don't have them. But don't kill the vibe for everyone who decides they want to be a mom. Of course, if you saw the Super Bowl, you know that Rihanna is on her second child. If you've seen pictures of that first baby, he is so cute. He is such an adorable little fellow. And when I look and I see their kids play and they're all animated, I said, yeah, she's going to have fun with this one. He already looked like he's going to be a big old bundle. He's going to be a little bundle of fun. And they are. They're just fun to me, I guess because I spent so much time around children. Also, my family members. So my cousins were even fun to watch grow up. As they grow up and they discover what things are. And, they talk and they have those innocent conversations with you, you know, about what something is or why this or why that. And they're just, you know, fun, and they point out stuff, they discover what stuff is, and they tell you, and it's just like, you know, they have those fun little kid conversations with you. My daughter said he's at the stage now where he was telling her some scary stories. So I'm like, I want to hear some scary stories myself, especially from a 4-year old. Like, what is scary to you? So this weekend I will be doing my dedication. I'm going to be celebrating happy 50th anniversary to hip hop. Pretty much the same. It's going to be 11 months of it. So I will be, this weekend, I will be doing Eclectic Music Geek podcast, and it will be the Women of Hip Hop. And I'm hoping to be able to give you guys a history lesson. I go back, I'm a day oneer with the genre. I really am. I'm also happy to give some news. If you're a De La Soul fan, they finally got they finally got the right to stream their whole music catalog on every streaming service. So when I did last week's show and I did my dedication to the one member Trugo that passed away, I was unable to find their version of Me, Myself, and I, which is like their first major hit. Now that first album is available. So I'm going to go ahead and make up a playlist for it, for their catalog. If you're a Spotify listener, you'll be able to find it just by looking up De La Soul. If you would like, I'll go ahead and make up a playlist of the catalog and have it available under Adam's Rib 66. If you want to look, because sometimes it's easier to look up somebody else's playlist than have to try to look up that stuff for yourself. But since we're talking about their, a singular artist, it wouldn't be that hard. I still may make up a playlist. The playlist I'm going to try to have the playlist for this weekend's, this Friday night's station head broadcast available by Wednesday. So if you want to listen to it beforehand, it'll be available. I'll probably go live Wednesday and let you know that it's up. But I thought about, I think each month that I'm going to do a different genre of hip hop. And I will be including Christian hip hop. Many people don't know that there are a lot of Christian hip hop artists. And I will do my level best to research those acts and get that together for you guys too. But since this is Women's History Month, I'm going to do the women of hip hop. If you remember, I did do the different regions of hip hop, like Dirty South, Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, and all of those. I may bring them back. I also did alternative, which a lot of, like I said before, many acts will be featured in both. So we're going to see. I may find some more artists because hip hop is branching out for a genre that a lot of people didn't think would last that long. It's lasted 50 years. and they have branched out into many other genres. I'm very proud to be able to be a day one for this particular genre. It feels good. They are our, how can I say this? They are to us, my generation, what rock and roll and the Motown sound and different other artists were to my mother's generation. So, like I said, if you're a De La Soul fan, their entire catalog is now available on Spotify, Apple Music, and different other probably Tidal as well. So they finally were able to get all of their music available on all streaming platforms. But I will, like I said, I will be doing Eclectic Weekends this Friday. I will try to have the playlist available for you guys. I'm going to try to get some of my podcasts. I have a podcast. I have a pod to video podcaster that helps me to be able to take my podcast from pod to video so I can post them on YouTube. But I'm also having difficulty with my pod to video maker. So if I can get that together this week, I will have the podcast that I just recently made available on YouTube. So you guys have a good Monday. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I had choir practice. I finally got to go back to choir practice because my car was down for 2 weeks. And I have to tell you, music is my therapy. I have been through some warfare here lately. And I tell people, every high note that I hit singing, every time I'm in, whenever I am, I like the rehearsal portion. I even like the rehearsals better than I like performing. And it is so therapeutic. And I used to feel the same way when I used to sing in church. Because there's ministry going forward. We would get to the point where prophecies, the girl over it, which was a pastor's daughter, which I had no problem with. When the person is good at what they do, I don't care if their parent is the pastor of the church. As long as you are gifted at what you do and you qualify to be there, I don't have no nepotism baby vibes going. And she was, really good. But yeah, just like anything else, you fall out with people because, you might be okay with them, but their parent is 3 sheets to the wind. So, but back to the topic of what I was saying, I am going to start with these lives, start talking about Music Monday. I'm going to have a Music Monday topic. I'm going to start having a topic for Monday evening quarterback, but I'm also going to have a portion that I'm going to dedicate to Music Monday to talk about music and to talk about, I've talked about it before, but I'm going to discuss it in some depth, the spiritual aspects, the therapeutic aspects of music, because I plan to do music therapy as well as music ministry. And so I won't be quitting anything that I'm doing anytime soon, especially, and it will be under the Adams Rib Media Ministry umbrella. So right now I am running a media empire out of my iPhone. I belong to quite a few groups on Facebook, and I will say that they're like, so what do you do? Blah, 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 blah. I'm running a media I'm running a media ministry out of my iPhone. And I will tell you what, these smartphones give you so much leeway when it comes to what you're able to do. They have apps that give you the ability to do everything until you're able to get a studio going. So it's been really fun. My problem is I tend to download too many apps, so I wind up with the issue with my storage, but I'm working it out. I'm not even worried about it. But I just enjoy myself um, talking and pontificating. I've stepped it up as far as talking about, discussing the Word of God and giving you guys scripture. I enjoy feeding you. I enjoy giving you the Word and giving you. I'm a person. I love to encourage people, especially other saints. We need each other. We're in this thing together. We really are in it together, and we really cannot afford to be, having, you know, no cult members teaching. Be careful what you hear from people. I'm going to continue to talk. I'm going to continue to encourage the single moms because I raised two children by myself. So, I understand how it feels to be doing a job that was originally meant for two people to do it, and you're doing a job that was meant for two people to be doing, and you're doing it alone. So if you're tired, that's one of the reasons why. If you're frustrated, that's one of the reasons why. I will probably be posting a lot of stuff on sex, food, and family, simply because as I as I help with my grandson and help my daughter, I'm starting to see that a lot of before you shame some of these women, especially these young women that are raising these babies, recognize that you were a young parent at one point too. And these young ladies don't need your judgment. They need your love, they need your support, they need your help, they need your counsel. Every time I think about, we are supposed to be their Naomi's. We are supposed to be a source of wisdom for them. Like those of us, because I officially call myself an old head now at 56. And I feel like, you know, these young ladies need your counsel. They need your advice. They need your encouragement. They don't need for you to be another source of stress. Being a parent when it's two people under the household can be a stressful enough job as it is. They don't need you to stress them out more. And definitely don't stress them out about dating. They will meet the right guy when the time is right if they're not already with the right guy. Because every single mother is not parenting alone. Many single mothers are still involved with the father of their children. They're just not legally married. And they need your support. They need your help. They need your wisdom. They need your love. And if you have, and if you're the grandparent, if you're a grandparent to a single mother, they need an occasional week. They need an occasional night off. So that they can, go with their friends. You may think, well, shoot, they went and had them kids. Well, are you paying for eternity for for every mistake you made? And, babies aren't mistakes. But like my mother used to watch my children, and I didn't run the streets. I mean, my mom, enjoyed coming and getting them and taking them to her house because, her house was, Disneyland to my kids. And I'm not saying that they're entitled to you babysitting or whatever, but you're getting a chance to spend time with a future generation. You have the ability to impart wisdom to them and play with them. They're fun. These little people are fun. They are fun. I can't tell you that motherhood sucks because it doesn't. At least it didn't for me. You know, the only part of motherhood that might have sucked for me didn't even involve my children. It involved people's attitudes towards you being a parent and parenting alone. That's the part that sucks. People judging you. So, you know, if you're a born again Christian, you need to remember what, I don't care what age you are or what stage in life you are, you need to pray about how God can use you, you know, you know, asking God how you can help and be there for another person is such a blessing to another person, you know, rather than constantly be on their case and giving them a hard time. It's not cool. And you're making things hard on the little ones when you stress them out and judge them and harm them. So I will be talking to you guys later on this week. Have a good Monday and peace out.